Ja also removed from the company's website. There's now a new report from the New York Post detailing Ja's trip to the strip club where he flashed that gun on social media, which included 2 visits within 48 hours. Shannon, what's your reaction to these latest developments?
Well, it's typical, Skip, that normally a lot of times, sometimes when negativity comes out, it's some more negativity, and some more negativity,
True.
some more negativity.
Yep.
It's the faucet, it's a drip, drip, drip. It's
I
never
agree.
all at one time.
I agree.
And it seems like all of this, but nothing. All of this was before Ja hopefully had learned his lesson, before the final denouement or zenith.
Yep.
It reached its apex with him on IG Live with the gun in his hand.
Denouement is a good word.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been uttered on this show.
Thank you.
You got me.
Thank you, Dr. Norman Elbow. He told me that word back
Really?
in English class. Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't go to class.
I went to class. You know what was in class, Skip? You know.
Oh, that's why you
Yeah,
went.
they
Okay.
was in class. They get their lesson.
Okay.
I would get my lesson too.
Yeah.
But Skip, I think the thing is that look, Ja, hopefully this final situation, he learned his lesson. I'm very disappointed in Shotgun Willies because somebody leaked this information, and hopefully there are going to be other NBA teams or NFL teams or whomever come. Be careful going there because they might put you on blast. Ja Morant is not the first guy to go to a gentleman's club.
No.
He won't be the last. Now, Ja Morant has made a lot. You say he's made like $39 million. That's before the $231 million kicks in next season.
Yep.
If he wants to spend, I don't know how much he spent. It's reported $50,000,
That was
$75,000,
just in
$100,000.
tips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he had to rent the VIP room.
Yeah, so
Okay.
however much he spent, that's his money. If he wants to, hey.
Got it.
I mean, he's helping young ladies with college. Okay, fine. We've all.
Probably he is.
Yeah, we've all donated to a college fund here or there, but that's neither here nor there. But Skip, we knew this was going to happen. It's not really a good look for a major corporation to have one of your endorsees, one of the faces of your product in a situation like this. Hopefully, Skip, what they did is that, okay, Ja, we're going to suspend this agreement. We'll revisit it at a later time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put you on a probation period.
Yeah.
We'll come back and revisit this at a later date and time. Hopefully, this is not a cancel situation where we tear up the contract. But Skip, anytime you do any contract, there's a moral clause in there. We know that. We got them here at Fox. There's a moral clause in all of our contracts, and we understand how it works. I'm just sorry that Ja had to possibly lose a major endorsement deal in order for him to but hopefully he learned a lesson, a valuable lesson. You hate that he had to learn the lesson like this, but I just think it's a situation, Skip, where we knew kind of like how these things happen. It's a drip, 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 but it's nothing new. All this had happened prior to Ja in the situation that happened that I think Friday night in Denver, Colorado. So it's a big package, but it's like, Skip, you're just taking them out one at a time and just sitting, and somebody just keeps sitting them up there. But that's
okay. I hear everything you just said. Quick point about Powerade. I did not know until I read this story that Ja had inked a multi-year endorsement deal with Powerade just days before he dangled the gun on IG Live.
Yeah.
I did not know it was a brand new deal.
Yeah.
Ja, this makes it even sadder to me that you just blew a whole, and it was a multi-year, I think 4 years. He was going to be the face of the Powerade campaign. Whoa.
And then anybody know Coca-Cola?
Yeah, it's a Coca-Cola company. Okay. Nike hanging in there with Ja so far. The quote from a Nike exec was, "We appreciate Ja's accountability and that he is taking the time to get the help he needs." His coach said Taylor Jenkins said he needed help, and Ja said, "I need help, I'm going to get help." I don't know what that means exactly.
Neither do I.
Okay. But remember, it was originally he's gone for 2 games and then for 4 games, and now
Indefinite?
it feels indefinite to me because they're still on the road, then they come back home, and who knows? I can't even speculate on that. Okay, now to the New York Post report about, as you said, the drip, drip, drip of this. We get a few more details of what happened at Shotgun Willie's back in your old stomping grounds in Denver, Colorado. Okay, so he went twice. He went very late 2 nights before the game when they flew in from a game in Houston, and he went straight to Shotgun Willie's. They said he got there at 1:30-ish in the morning.
Yeah.
At least at least he refrained from going the night before the actual game in Denver, which was a big measuring stick game in the Western Conference between the top two teams, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't go the night before, but he went back the night of after, right? So he goes after the game, and this story says $50,000 in tips for the 2 nights. Okay, look. He drew the spotlight to himself because he goes on IG Live and tangles the gun. If not for that, we would not be discussing this because we would not have known anything about this, nor would we care anything about this.
Because we didn't hear anything about him going to when he first arrived, we didn't hear anything about that.
Shannon, I don't know this for a dead solid fact, but I'm willing to bet you that a number of NBA players last night went to strip clubs around the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just...
That's just what some guys, that's what they do.
Some guys just do that.
Yeah.
Any problem here? No problem.
Right?
Just as long as you stay away from any problem. We don't want any gun problems.
Stay within the rules of what the establishment has set forth.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. How many guys do go? These places do booming business. Got no issue whatsoever. I got no issue with Ja going.
Right.
He gets his VIP room. You can kind of control your crowd around you.
Who comes in? Who goes out?
Way to go. So then we hear about the tips. And the first night, it said it took forever to count it because the floor was covered with money. I don't know if they were 10s or 20s or 50s or 100s.
Yeah,
you think so?
It was.
Okay, all right. So they're all over the floor, and it's like they describe it as knee deep. I doubt it was that, but that's a scene that takes place fairly often.
Yes.
Okay, all right, just for the record. Okay, so then we get a good quote, from a woman named Deborah Dunnington, who's the majority owner of Shotgun Willie's. She said, "Kid's real young, but he was exceptionally respectful and sweet and did not drink," she says. I don't know that she was closely observing, but that's what she was probably told. We've had plenty of Nuggets and Broncos come in and pitch quarters at the girls, be disrespectful and nasty. He was marvelous. Okay, pitching quarters, that's really disrespectful, right?
What he made it do like what it's doing in L.A. over the last month or so. He made it really rain. It was the deluge. So, the Broncos and Nuggets becoming that, get a little drizzle, little trickle.
Little drizzle, but that's just showing.
Yeah, now come on, don't do that. Don't do that now. Don't go into people's establishment and be disrespectful.
But one dancer is quoted as saying that she was absolutely terrified, as was everybody else, when he dangled the gun. Well, who wouldn't be if you're in the VIP room and all of a sudden there's a gun?
Right.
Well, it's not cool. Okay, nobody's going to like it. And then the dancer goes on to say, this is one of my favorite quotes in the last month or so. She says, he pulled the white boy excuse card. I'm just going through a lot right now, so I'm going to act like a fool or act a fool, as she said, and put other people's lives at risk. Okay, so there you go. That was her view of, he's going through a rough time, so he's going to act out. Okay, so again, everything's cool up to that moment, and then if you and furthermore, if he had just done it with his friends, just to be clowning around,
you at your own home, but you can't be in a public place and do that.
Okay, but he even if he hadn't gone on IG Live, you don't
never
think
known it.
we would have never known about it. Do you think the dancers are going to run to the media after he leaves and say?
That's one thing about dancers. Don't usually mess up their money.
They don't.
Because there are a lot of times a lot of high-profile athletes visit these establishments, and they, so to speak, they break them off.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I ain't telling you nothing. I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who it is. But unfortunately, he put it out there.
He did.
And it became a huge national story. And a reporter from the New York Post is going to Shotgun Willie's to question some of the dancers. And they're like, yeah, one of them, she got one of them to talk. And it seems worse and worse. And to your point, it's drip, 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 drip.
She must be getting under the windfall.
Maybe she didn't get the windfall. Okay. So the point is, it sounds even worse now that we get the gory details, because most people, the curtain got ripped back here and you could see it for what it was. And it happens all the time, but nobody knows about it. And nobody would have known a peep about this without the gun and the IG Live.
I totally agree. The IG Live made it, because you can't say, well, that's not Ja, or let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip, it is somebody else's gun. You got it in your hands. It's on your phone. It's from Ja's account. So It's hard to dispel it and say it's something, except take it for what it is at face value. That Ja is in a public establishment and he's having a good time, but he has a firearm. And normally, if you got to have a firearm around you in order to have a good time, you probably don't need to be there.
Okay. And the Powerade Coca-Cola executive is going to say, we're out.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
We're out. Sorry.
That's not a good look. Like I said, Skip, hopefully it's just a probationary period. Hopefully it's a suspension. Ja, get the help that you need.
Yep.
Get cleaned up, come back and visit. But that just, come on. I mean, like you said, a couple of days after he inked this deal, and it's probably a national media deal like a sponsorship like this, it's in the millions. And you was like, you know what, but Skip, like what I'm saying, you know, obviously he's dealing with something. You just throw caution to the wind. You're like, whatever.
I just don't know what would possess him to go on IG Live. Even if he's just playing around dangling the gun, right. I can almost live with that. But when you go...
No, you don't play with no gun, Skip.
But okay, I got it. I got it. But I'm trying to give him some break here. What would possess you to say, I'm going public with this? What?
Young and dumb, Skip.
Okay.
Like I say, Skip, when you're young, Skip, you don't really, sometimes you do things when you're young. Yeah, you're not rational. You don't even be thinking because you don't see the downsides. Man, I'm just having fun. Bro, I ain't hurting nobody. Yeah, said everybody that pulls out a gun and then it goes off and it hurts somebody. Yeah, that wasn't your intention. I just hate that he put himself in that situation. Yeah. Hopefully, like I said, he's taking time away. He's getting the help that he needs. And he'll come back and he'll be better from it. And we'll look back 10 years from now like, man, he did that?
Really? Yeah.
He's turned himself into an old man.
Well, I told you he won him Most Improved Player last year, so he has the capability of pulling off what you just said.
And become everything that he wanted, thought he could become, and everything the NBA envisioned. Because the NBA would really like for this young man to be one of its front and center pieces.
You got that right.
Forward.
Okay, just here are the games. So he's now missed 4 games. They're on the road at Dallas, then they go to Miami, then they go to San Antonio. They go home for 4 games starting it'll be next Saturday night against Golden State. Is it possible he would come back for that homestand? I have no way of knowing because I don't know what the help entails.
Right.
Did he need to go to some sort of rehab? I have no idea.
Well, as long as he don't go to that Riley Cooper rehab, as long as he don't do that
was
Riley,
a weekend.
Yeah, as long as he don't do that Riley Cooper rehab, we good.
Yeah, he was back after they had a long weekend off.
He had a weekend at Bernie's.
Well, it was Labor Day, right?
Yes.
Labor Day weekend, and then he's back?
Back at the facility.
What?
Like nothing happened. But hopefully Ja's okay, getting the help that he needs, and he'll be a better man after this is over.
I'm with you.
I will give that a very big third.